Hey, I'm about to record a video about how I got a bunch of free donuts in Montreal. It's a very interesting story because it was a time where we needed to skip a line in a restaurant which had these thing called puffs. It's basically like really amazing donuts. It's the best donut place in Montreal. And there were 50 people in line and I had to figure out how to skip the line because our friends were waiting for us for dinner. And Dilip was with me, and I'm gonna tell you this story very soon. But before I do that, just some tidbit on what I've been reading, what I've been learning about. This morning I was reading the book Sapiens. And this book is really, really earth-shattering, mind-boggling, because it really fucks with you. It's a mind-fuck book. So he was talking about how, for example, wheat, right? So 12,000 or 10,000 years ago, that is when the agricultural revolution started. That's when we started farming. That's when agriculture started. Before that, we were hunter-gatherer, forager type, Homo sapiens. But after the agricultural revolution, we had wheat and rice and potatoes and so on. And it was different because we started domesticating sheep and goats and so on, right? It was more of a let's mess with the environment because we want more food. And a lot of stuff happened. Anyway, I'll get into that later. But I'm learning a lot about how Homo sapiens, us, human species, have really fucked with the climate, fucked with the planet, really fucked with a lot of stuff here on Earth. And one interesting thing in the book, I underlined it and stuff, and he basically said, if you look at wheat, right, there was not much wheat 10,000 years ago. Now there's tons of wheat, there's like farms and there's a lot all over the world because we eat so much wheat. And he said, is it that we domesticated wheat, or did wheat domesticate us? Because wheat somehow figured out a way to procreate, and now we're the ones that are in the house, right? And wheat is like out and about in the outside world under the sun and stuff. Because the word domesticate comes from the Latin domus, which is home or being in the house. Anyway, so I've been reading a lot of really good things lately. Reading Sapiens again. I read about 10 books at the same time, and then I try to link certain knowledge and insight from one book to the next, and it really helps me understand the world, understand myself better. And here I'm at a park next to Whole Foods. I just visited my gym. I worked out this morning, and let's shoot a video and it'll be fun. Let's do it. I just recorded that intro with the DSLR and my battery ran out, so now I'm using the iPhone. Let me know if this video is better or worse. Would love to know, because if it's the same, then I might just use this from now on. Sorry if it shakes. I'm trying to keep my hands very still. I just had a workout at the gym and kind of sore, so I'll do my best. I'm here at the park. It's really nice. Actually, this does feel a little bit better because it's holding the gorilla pod is kind of harder to do because I guess my shoulders aren't strong enough. But some insight. So this morning I was listening to a podcast on behavioral architecture, and the guy was talking about how most people order medium coffee, right? So if you notice, it's 8 ounce, 10 ounce, 12 ounce, right? Small, medium, large in most coffee places, cafes. And most people just do medium, right? It's like the Goldilocks effect. Not too little, not too much, just perfect, right in the middle. And they did this study where they increased the coffee sizes by 2 ounces. So instead of 8, 10, 12, it was 10, 12, 14. And they found out that people still ordered the medium. And when they asked why, it was the same answer, the Goldilocks effect. Not too much, not too little, just perfect. So what we're finding is a lot of people have these habits, right? People meaning you and I too, all of us, human beings. We have these habits and we're not even aware of the decisions we make, right? They're very automatic type decisions. And there's a lot of stuff like that, a lot of stuff. And another example is if you're the last one in line at a retail store, then you feel bad. You feel like you're a loser. You're like the last guy. You're like the one left out. And if someone gets behind you, even if you're further back in line, like you have to wait longer, but at least there's one person behind you, you feel better and you tend to stay in line longer. They've also done this study where they compared people's income, and they kind of like lined them up from beginning to end. I don't know the exact study, but you're gonna get the concept from my description. And what they found is, let's say I'm the second last guy on the list of like socioeconomic status or income or whatever, and you give me $10. I'm more likely to give that money to the guy in front of me rather than the guy behind me, because I don't want to be tied for last place. So human beings, all of us, we're very scared of being last. We're very scared of being like that one guy left out, like maybe at the gym when you're getting picked for basketball or football or some kind of sport. You don't want to be that last one picked. So we're very averse to being last. It's like last place aversion. Anyway, just a little bit more intro for you here. I'm actually here. It's a tennis court. There's a tennis court in this park, and I'm just recording here. Today's video is gonna be about how I was able to skip line. About 50 people were waiting in this donut place. Me and Dilip were there. So let me set this up first. So it was my going away party. It was like my farewell dinner when I was leaving Montreal, and we were at this Italian place in St. Leonard. And what happened is we ordered appetizers, and it was gonna take time for the food to come. So me and Dilip said, you know what? Let's go and get some dessert for everyone. So we go to this place called Puffs, Mr. Puffs or something like that in Montreal. It's the best donut place in the whole city. So we go in there, and there's 50 people. So we have to figure some shit out. Like, how the fuck do we do that? And me, Farhan, I'm the guy who does that kind of stuff. I'm the guy who gets into places where he's not supposed to be. Kind of like naughty, cheeky behavior. And this is something I've learned about myself. I'm a very naughty person. When I'm naughty in an environment, I'm myself. I'm very happy, like, you know, cheeky, kind of like Woody Woodpecker type behavior. So what did I do? I grabbed my Gorilla Pod, you know, the Gorilla Pod I carry. I went, you know, I had it like this, and I was like carrying it, and I was filming the donut place and speaking to the camera like I'm some kind of celebrity filming different restaurants, right? That was the assumption. So, you know, imagine me like this, and I'm just walking, and I'm like, yeah, so now we're here at Mr. Puff's, and it's a great restaurant. I want you guys to, you know, so I'm like talking to the camera. And as I'm talking to the camera, Dilip is in front of me, right? And he's like scared shitless because he has no idea what the hell is going on. Like Farhan's about to do his shit again. So I'm walking. And what's interesting is that I don't know either. I don't know what the hell I'm doing either, right? It's very unknown to me. So I start walking. And as I'm walking, subconsciously, I'm going to the front of the line. I'm going to the cashier, but I don't even know that, right? I'm just like listening to my inside voice that some good shit will happen, because quite authentically in my heart, I want to get those donuts for my friends, for everyone, and make it back for my farewell dinner. So I'm doing this, and literally everyone in line is just like, what the fuck is this guy? What is going on? Because in Montreal, there aren't very many vloggers, so it's something new that they see. It's like maybe like a celebrity type thing. So now I walk, and I end up at the beginning of the line, like where the cashier is, and I'm like kind of like glancing like that. And as soon as the girl leaves, I end up there, and there's a cashier right there, and I go like this. And right to my left side, there's a guy who like taps on me. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? So he's like, hey, can I help you? I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Oh, where am I? Oh shit, this is like, this is cool, man. This is like a donut place, huh? Yeah, dude, I've just been recording all day. Hey man, what's going on? I'm from Brooklyn. You know, we go all over the US and Canada, and we film restaurants, and we make you guys famous. But you know what? It's interesting that you guys don't even need to be famous. You got like 50 people in line. What the hell are you guys doing? Putting some heroin in those donuts? Right? And then we start talking, and like everyone's just waiting for this like fiasco shenanigan to finish. So I'm talking to this guy, find out he's Lebanese, Abdullah, his name was. He has a cousin in the back. I forget his cousin's name. But I'm speaking to Abdullah here, and he tells me that the cashier is the owner. of the restaurant, of Mr. Puff's. He's one of the partners, not the owner, but one of the owners. And I'm like, cool, man. So tell me about what's going on. So he tells me, you know, Mr. Puff's, it's like best in Montreal. We don't call it donuts, we call them puffs. We have different kinds. You know, they even have vegan stuff, which is amazing. I wasn't vegan then, but they have vegan stuff. And I was like, cool, man. And now the owner's listening to me, right? So as I'm talking to Abdullah, I'm like, yeah, man, whenever you come to Brooklyn, you can crash at my place here. Take my number. We'll keep in touch. I really like your guys' energy, how nice you guys are in Montreal. We're really loving this. And at that time, I lived in Montreal. I didn't live in Brooklyn. I didn't live in Manhattan. But in their minds, there's a habit of assuming that when someone is from New York, someone's from the States, someone's from Manhattan or Brooklyn, it's a famous thing, it's a celebrity thing, it's a lot of respect that's given to that kind of person. So now the owner's like listening to me, right? And the owner's like, hey man, what would you like? You know, what would you like? Let us get you some Mr. Puffs. And now everyone's waiting in line. There's 50 people behind me. And Dilip's like, I don't know, he's like in the corner, scared shitless because he has no idea what the hell I'm doing, and neither do I. So I'm there. And I'm like, no, it's my first time, dude. Yo, Abdullah, you order for me. So he orders for me 2 large boxes of these specific donuts, like maple syrup and I don't know, chocolate and chocolate chip and Oreo, whatever the hell he ordered, right? And jelly and raspberry, whatever. So he orders this for me, 2 large boxes, right? The owner says, here you go, man. No need to pay. It's on us. Free. So I'm like, dope. So I took it, waited in line, got our donuts, right? Everyone else is just, you know, waiting, whatever. That's how it is. Now it doesn't end there. I get to the beginning of the line, I get my donuts, and now I start chatting with the cousin of Abdullah. Forget his name. It's also Lebanese, right? So now he was listening, eavesdropping on the conversation that was happening by the cashier. And he's like the fryer, right? He fries all the donuts and stuff. So now he starts talking to me about Brooklyn and how amazing you know, New York is, and he's a fan of people from New York, and I'm like, yeah, obviously. So now we start talking, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, come with Abdullah. You know, you guys come visit me together in Brooklyn and stay with me. I have a couch for both of you. It's all bullshit. It's lies. It's just deceit and manipulation. So I do that, and I get my donuts, and as I'm about to walk out, Abdullah's cousin goes, hey man, what are you guys drinking? I'm like, nothing, no worries. He's like, no, wait, let us get you some 2 mochas, which is like some famous drink, you know, like the latte mocha thing. So he's like, hey Jennifer, I remember the girl's name, this blonde tall girl. Hey Jennifer, get them 2 mochas. So she gets 2 mochas and brings it to us. So now we have 2 mochas. And Dilip is like, just what the fuck is Farhan doing? How does he always do this? So we get the mochas. Now it still doesn't end there. Now we're about to walk out. The owner, he's like, hey, did they give you the English cream? And I'm like, I have no idea. He's like, wait. So he goes and gets some English cream, some extra like, it's like some really flavorful like cream thing they have. Puts it in two little boxes and puts it on top of the donut boxes and says, all right, now you're set, man. Have an amazing time. Have a safe trip back and come visit us anytime. We're always happy to see you and welcome. That was the story of Mr. Puff's Donuts in Montreal, St. Leonard. And right after that, I went up to Dilip and I said, what do you think, bro? So he looks at me, he goes, how the fuck did you do that, bro? Like, how did you do that? Like, that is what you need to teach people. Not this other, testosterone weight loss stuff is cool, like, it's good. But what you just did there, people would pay millions of dollars to learn. And I was like, that's interesting, man. I've been doing this shit my whole life. I never thought of it. Like, I never deconstructed that in my brain. Like, why am I good at this? Like, why am I able to get into places where I'm not supposed to be? Why am I able to get favors from people where I'm not supposed to get them, or I don't deserve them? Why? So I started breaking it down. I started deconstructing. And then when Lala told me to do it, then it was just confirmed. Now I'm making all these videos for you guys to deconstruct my own cognitive faculties, my own cognitive capacities. So what I realize is, first and foremost, listen to your inside voice and let it happen, right? That's the first clue. Remember, you're 3 billion years of evolution here, right? Life started on Earth 3 billion years ago. So if you believe that, and you believe that you're, from this type of life, unicellular organisms, amoebas and microbes and whatnot, if that is the case, if you assume that's true, then your inside voice is a product of evolution. It's like you're doing something. It's like this intuition that you have. So if you follow that, it's great. Let it happen. Let it organically come. Like your actions, let them be dictated by that inside voice. That's number one. Number two is, let people hear what they expect, right? A lot of the time, because look, man, at the end of the day, my intentions were pure, right? I wanted to make it back to the restaurant, the Italian restaurant we were at, so I can join my friends, we can finish the welcome party, and that's it, right? I had compassion for that moment. And I felt very good, and I kind of wanted to provide some kind of entertainment for the restaurant because they were all bored, like fuck, shitless bored. And so it was very like cheeky, naughty, cool, right? I just wanted to do that. Anyway, so that's the second component. Try to deliver what people expect from you or expect in that environment. Third is, be nice. Smile. Always smile and be very, very nice. Because you never know, like, why be stressed, right? Why not be nice? So just be very nice and be very friendly and honest to God, if I did live in Brooklyn at the time or Manhattan, I would love for them to come and visit me and stay on my couch. They were genuinely very nice Lebanese people. Just have a good heart, right? Really have a good, authentic heart and do things out of love. That's the takeaway from this video. That's the takeaway from that shenanigan fiasco. And I'm gonna continue to deconstruct, my cognitive faculties, why I do what I do, how does it actually happen, what's happening in my subconscious mind. I'm gonna continue to do that for you guys so you can have that status as well. All right? Love the video. Take it easy and see you soon.